Good evening. I'm Ebony.
And I'm Callie.
And welcome to WRJR Live, Woman to Woman, Lessons in Life, Love, and Common Sense. Let's first give a shout out to our sponsors. Hamilton's Crossing Online Mall, That Thing You Do Catering, and Verge Urban and Culture Online Magazine.
Also, want to give a shout out to Karen's Daughters, located in Hamilton's Crossing Online Mall, and Goddess Kelly Therapeutic Massage.
Okay, last week we talked about perception and what it means in life and in all our relationships.
That perception is our ability to see, hear, and become aware of something through our senses. That how we perceive a situation may be valid, but not necessarily true. So as our life movies collide with someone else's movie, we have to learn to find truth in the scenario while respecting each other's perception.
Okay, we do this by operating with the 5 love languages that we talked about, which are words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifts.
On this episode, we're going to talk about how to change our perceptions, how to use our perceptions and other people's perceptions to initiate change in our lives.
Right. So first we need to understand that change is necessary for our growth. There's no way to get around it.
And anything that is not changing isn't growing and is by definition dead.
Okay, so in life, take for instance our heartbeat. When you're on an EKG, a heart monitor machine, it looks like this. And your life source is reflected in up and down measures. So it goes up and it goes down. The peaks represents the good days in our life. Those down peaks represents the bad. But we're constantly going up and down. When it flatlines, that's when you're dead. And what's so funny is a lot of people look for this flat line in life. Like they just want everything to either be all good or to them it's all bad. But it's not. It's up and it's down.
And even when we're down, we need to understand that it's just a season and that the up is on the way. The up is inevitable because we're alive.
Right.
The down isn't permanent. The up isn't permanent. But learning to move with the ebb and flow of life is where our focus should be.
Right. So if you were drowning in a rapid current, it's said to relax and go with the flow of the current. Your chance of survival greatly increase if you just relax and just let it happen. When you're trying to fight to go upstream, to go back the way you just came, you're probably going to drown.
Gabriel's calling me. I'm going to have to wait. My bestie is calling me. I'm going to have to call her back. But the first thing you have to know is that you have to make a plan and find out what area of your life needs change. Writing it down, journaling is very important in understanding where we need to change in our life. Also, daily affirmations, speaking these on a regular basis and a daily basis.
Right.
The way you are now is a result of the things you've spoken in the past or things that have been spoken over you.
Right.
So even as a parent, it's very important to speak life to your children because it affects how they grow up and how they feel about themselves.
Exactly.
So to change things to the positive, you have to do the same thing. You have to say positive things in order to change positive. The Bible says that faith comes by hearing, and in order to hear, you have to speak it first.
Have to speak first. This reminds me, I was telling you the other day when William and Casey were sick, how they were asleep in the bed.
Tell that story.
And I didn't know what to do. My kids had been sick for days, and they couldn't get better, so they were asleep. And I did this little experiment. So I went to my daughter, and she's knocked out. But I go to her, and I was telling her, Mommy loves you. You're going to be better in the morning. Your body feels good. It's healing even as I'm speaking to you. And I said, do you hear your mommy? And she's asleep, but she's nodding her head. And I said, okay. I said, so you're going to feel better in the morning. Mommy loves you. I did that over and over again for about 30 minutes. And then I didn't do it to my son, just my daughter. And I went on to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, my daughter was better. She was running around the house. Fever had broken. Son, still sick. So I did that to him that same night, and the next morning he was better. So what we speak over our children is very, very important.
I agree.
There must be a constant, also to get back on subject, there must be a constant evaluation during your journey of change. You have to make sure you're going in the right direction. And asking yourself, do you like what you are becoming or who you're changing into, and how you esteem yourself? Pastor Mark, one of the most important pastors I've ever had the honor of studying under, he would say it's about direction. If you are trying to go to the beach, then you get on a 15 South. And if you're trying to go to Vegas, you get on a 15 North. So sometimes in life, we say we want to change. We say we want to go certain places. And then we prepare, like we get our bags packed to go to that place. But then when we get in the actual driver's seat of making the change, we go the wrong direction. And we'll just never get to the beach cities by going 15 North.
You're not. So we have to prepare to go the way that we want to go.
So like we're saying, write it down, do your affirmations. That's you making a plan on where you're trying to go.
Putting your hotel reservation in.
Right. Right.
When you speak it, you're putting your hotel reservation in for the places that you want to go.
Right.
In love. When your movie collides with somebody else's movie, it's like two rivers colliding. They have to adapt to each other's life flow.
Right.
One may be hot, one may be cold, but when they come together, they're warm, and they've adapted to their each other's life flow, and that's very important in understanding where your partner's been and where he's going or where she's going. You should definitely ask those questions about like how they grew up. Like where they grew up, what did their parents do?
Their heritage and culture.
Their heritage, were they raised by their parents? Were they raised by their grandmother or an aunt?
Because all that makes the difference.
All that makes a huge difference in the way that their life goes.
Right. I know with my ex, we both grew up differently. My mom and dad never argued. Like, I didn't grow up in an environment where adults yell at each other and curse each other. But my ex, their family would just be like, F you and move on, and they would be fine the next day. But so me and his relationship was like that. Where it's toxic. And we would talk to each other. It was
toxic for you. Not that it was bad.
It was just toxic.
He just needed somebody who matched him.
Right. So what happened?
You needed somebody that matched you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That wasn't your love language, and you guys weren't paying attention to each other's love language.
No, it wasn't. And I'm like, I thought he was crazy. He thought I was oversensitive, and and it's not that. It's just that our culture backgrounds, the way we were raised, our parents, like my mom and dad never said things mean to us intentionally, but his parents did. They said a lot of hurtful things, and then that reflects, and you find yourself either doing the same thing or being different, but
or being upset by it. Yeah.
When you're in a relationship of any kind, you can't expect to not have to change just even a little bit in order to maintain a healthy life flow. We have to be open to learn one another's love languages fluently and be willing and able to give and receive the love that our partner speaks.
We also need to recognize that we can't force someone to change.
Right.
It has to be their choice. You can't tell somebody when they're tired. You can't tell somebody when they've had enough. They have to make that decision for themselves. Right. You can't tell somebody that they need to do better unless they feel that they need to do better. Also, on the flip side, if they're refusing to change and that is negatively impacting your healthy life flow, then sometimes the only change that you really need to make is to move on. You have to reroute your waters and find somebody who's going the same direction you are, and somebody that's not fighting upstream.
Holding you back.
And holding you back.
In reality, our relationship should push us to the positive. Like, we should be bringing out the best in each other. And if you're realizing that the person you're with is not bringing the best out of you and you're not bringing the best out of them, it's toxic. Love, at the end of the day, is a choice. You choose who to love. I can't stand when people say stuff like, oh, love is blind, or love, you can't help who you love. Yes, you can. Yes, you definitely can. It's a choice.
It is.
If you decide to just be with whomever likes you, then that's your choice too. But love is a choice. And it has to be a choice. It has to be your choice. You have to change. No, am I? Okay, so life doesn't stop with or without having a certain person in your life. There's more than enough people in the world to find someone that you're more compatible with. So if you find someone and their waters don't flow with your water, if it's toxic to you, it may not be toxic to them, but if it's toxic to you, you gotta, get out of it. Reroute your waters, go a different way.
I agree. Let's talk about some common sense. The direct definition of insanity is when you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. If you want something different, you have to do something different. Right. You can't keep you can't keep climbing the same tree and missing the exact same step and keep falling,
Right, you're gonna fall.
You have to learn. Every time you're gonna fall.
You'll fall.
You're gonna fall. You have to find a different tree or find another river to go down or whatever it is. You have to change. But you have to recognize that you need change.
Right. And I believe that finding the silver lining in every situation is paramount in changing the way that you look at something. There's always a positive in every situation, just like there's always a solution to every problem. The issue is taking the time to solve for X. X represents your situation. It represents the desired outcome, right? So I learned in doing algebraic equations that what I do on one side of the equation, I'm going to have to also do on the other side in order to solve for X. So if I wanted to lose weight and all I did was maybe changed my eating, but I did no exercise, I laid around, I did nothing, I'm not going to get a balanced outcome. I may lose some weight because I'm not eating the fatty foods or whatever, but then I'm going to have loose hanging skin and, and my muscle mass is going to be, not there. So it's not a balanced change. But if I eat healthy and I move and I'm exercising and I'm walking and I'm doing all that, then my desired outcome is going to be balanced, and I'm not going to have the saggy skin. It's going to be balanced across the board.
I agree. To get something you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. You have to change your mind first. Right. I think that's essential in wanting to change. Is changing in your mind. It's not all about the negative. It's geared towards the positive. Also, you have to change your environment and the things that you're around, the things that you eat, the things that you're watching, the people that you hang around. And when I say change what you eat, I mean like your mental food, your spiritual food. You have to change that too. And it's important. I have to talk about this. Okay, so I used to be a really big smoker. Like, Mary was my best friend. I didn't have any other friends. And if you didn't smoke, you weren't my friend. Like, you're not my friend if you don't smoke. Right. But I got to a point where my motivation wasn't there. Like, I tried going to school, but I didn't have the energy to do it. I didn't have the motivation to do it. It was a point where I smoked before I went to work. I would smoke when I got home. I would smoke before cooking dinner. I would smoke to go to bed. I would smoke before I went to the gym. Like, I would smoke before I went to my parents' house. Like, and it was too much. It was too much. And that's not saying anything against Mary, because Mary is she's good. Mary's good for you, but everything in moderation. So too much water will kill you. Too much of anything will kill you. It's not good for you. So you have to find balance. And for me, I was finding it was actually an addiction for me, and it was holding me back a lot. So I had to stop.
You have to.
I had to stop. And with stopping, I found a new motivation, a new reason to get up in the morning, a new reason to go for my goals. And it's refreshing. Like, my mind is clearer now. I'm doing the show with you guys. I'm helping my sister. We've opened businesses. Like,
everything has changed.
Everything has changed. And I can hope just to encourage you guys to change and to find what it is that you need to change. And so that you can live a better life, live a more fulfilling life. Not that your life isn't great, but anything that's stagnant, anything that's not changing isn't growing. And it's important.
But I think at the end of the day too is a lot of people are desiring to do something more with their lives, but not knowing the first step. Well, what do I do? They may think it would just be a career change or something financial. Becoming an entrepreneur, I realized at first, because I was working all the time, I had a business for 2 years, but it's not until like right now, this phase of my life, that I feel like I'm a true entrepreneur. It feels like when I lost my job that it's like a parent pushing their kids into the water to learn how to swim. Like, it's either sink or swim. You don't have a choice. So now I'm like, it changed my whole mentality. Yes, I'm back to work, but with a different mindset. My mind is different. Because even when I'm at work, I'm still an entrepreneur, and I'm still talking to people at work, and I'm going, hey, I got this thing, I got this product, got this thing going on, got this thing happening. And now I feel, past month and a half, that I'm an entrepreneur. And there's a difference between being a business owner and being an entrepreneur.
I think another thing we have to realize is that change is always uncomfortable. It's always painful. It's always hard. It's never easy to change. And we kind of have to relish in that pain and that uncomfortability in knowing that it is change happening. There is growth happening.
Right.
I remember as a kid, like my knees and my hips and my back used to ache like all the time. They're growing pains. They're growing pains. And because you're feeling that pain, it simply just means that you're growing. So on your journey to change, understand that it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to hurt. You're going to cry. These things are going to happen.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Keep
Just
pushing
stick
forward.
with it.
Stick with it. Stick with it.
It's worth it. When you look back in your life, and this is where journaling is important, because you can see your growth when you're writing.
This is true.
You know, I used to always save my journals, and I remember looking back and go, oh my God, I was so dumb. Like, oh my God, I was so dumb just a year ago. And to see that you're growing, that you're not the same person, that you don't think the same way. And then you can be proud of those efforts. So,
and when you're proud of yourself, you want to do more.
Yeah.
You know, I can say this last year has been a true growing experience. 2016, I think, was uncomfortable for everybody. Everybody was uncomfortable in 2016. So I hope that we've grown.
We won't know till the end of 2017.
I know I have. Yeah. I know I've grown. Just from the beginning of 2016 to the end of January to December. Like, it was... I grew, and I'm proud of myself and my growth. New relationships, old relationships.
Things fall off.
Things fall off. Things grow.
Right.
It's just a part of life.
And you have to accept it.
Yeah. Don't be so focused on the destination. Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
So our book recommendations for this week, number one is the Bible. So read Proverbs. This is something that I think is great. You read Proverbs as a book of wisdom and life lessons. So there's 31 Proverbs. There's 31 days to most months. So start at chapter 1. So today is, January 16th?
Yes.
Yeah. So
15th.
I'm sorry. Today's the 15th. So start at Proverbs chapter 15. Read that one tomorrow to the 16th, the next day to 17th, so on and so forth. When you get to the day 1, start at day 1. Like February has 28 days. After 28, go back to day 1 and just read it every day for a year. Just give yourself a year. And you'll find, at first you'll be like, this is silly. But the word of God is a seed. And when you plant it inside of you, it does grow. And being that it's all wisdom, it's all common sense, it's all life, it's all love.
And Proverbs is really good. It's not the whole doom and gloom.
Nope.
No, it's just inspirational.
Just wisdom and inspiration.
Exactly.
And you'll start finding yourself speaking those things and living those things that are within it. So
I'd like to recommend an app. It's called the Positive Thinking app. It's an Android app, I'm pretty sure. But I'm sure... Apple probably has a good one too. But I love this app because you can make your own affirmations, and I have mine pop up 3 times a day, and it comes with a little picture. You can look and visualize whatever it is. My favorite one is, I am divine intelligence. My body is divine intelligence. I'm happy, healthy, and harmonious through and through. I say this 3 times a day. It gives me encouragement. It's a couple other ones there. Another good one is that I remember to fulfill all of my obligations. I used to be very absent-minded about some of the things that I was supposed to do. But even with just saying it 3 times a day, it makes me think, okay, so what obligations do I have today? Because we all have obligations and responsibilities that we have to keep up with on a daily basis. And this app really kind of just brings that stuff to the forefront and gets you thinking in a more positive direction.
Yeah, mine is one that just says, I forgive myself for all my mistakes.
Ooh.
How powerful, because you don't realize that even with changing, one of the things we have to learn to do is forgive ourselves for what we do wrong. When we stumble, we trip and fall. Life is a big learning lesson.
It is.
In our journey, we could start over every day if we have to. I messed up today, I'm going to start over tomorrow. But I forgive myself for messing up yesterday. And I'm going to try hard not to mess up today and actually put forth concerted efforts each day to make it to the next point. So when I see that, like, I forgive myself for all my mistakes, I stop and reflect and then go back through some of my mistakes and then individually forgive them. Ebony, and then I tell myself, Ebony, you're beautiful. Ebony, you're purposeful. And it just helps. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We do want to close on our Karen quote.
The only constant thing in life is change.
She says that all the time.
All the time. Like, that's the only thing that's going to keep going. The world is going to keep changing.
Are you mad because it's changing?
You get over it.
It's gonna
be the next one. You get over it.
You get over it. Oh my God, that is her next one. You'll get over it. But thank you for joining us for Woman to Woman. Please send any questions, topic ideas, or anything you would like to get advice on to our email at karensdaughters2016@gmail.com.
Also, come out and network with us on our first Ladies Night Out. This event is going to be Saturday the 21st at 7 p.m. Admission is $10. We will be having hors d'oeuvres, drinks, giveaways, and door prizes. Visit us at thatthingyoudo.com to get more information.
That Thing You Do Catering.
Oh, That Thing You Do Catering.
Yes. Right. That's fine. And subscribe also to WRJR Real Jams Radio website at www.wrjrjams.wix.com/Real Jams Radio. We're gonna shorten that up later, but right now that's the website.
That's what it is right now. Okay. One more shout out to our sponsors. Again, Hamilton's Crossing Online Mall, That Thing You Do Catering,
Karen's Daughters Jewelry Boutique located inside of Hamilton's Crossing Online Mall, Verge Urban and Culture Online Magazine at vergeonlinemag.com,
and to Goddess Callie Therapeutic Massage.
Okay,
Thank you, and see you next week.